Hello, and welcome back to the Bacon Bites. I know it's been a while, guys, since we've started, and I appreciate everybody's patience as we've gone through stuff. But excited to get started, excited to be back here on the stream and back here on the microphone, recording some stuff. It looks like peaking a little high. We're going to go ahead and turn that down just a touch, and we're going to go ahead and fade out that intro music, and there we go. So hopefully you guys have had a great couple of months here. It's been a long time since we've been streaming. It is a new setup, so bear with me as there we go, back in my headphones. Now that it's perfect. Good. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys have had a blast this summer. I guess it's not even summer yet, so some people are it's still spring. Technically, June 21st is the first day of summer here in Seattle area, and so I think that's true for most everybody north of the equator. And anyways, so it's been a while, and so excited to get started here. Excited to do some things here on the Bacon Bites. I've taken some time off. I've been focusing on a project, and so I've been making sure that that's the priority and making sure that things get done there. And so that's been the main focus so far recently. Let me see if I can actually do a couple of things real quick while we are just getting back. And that did not work as expected. There we go. Cool. So I know it's like full frame. I need to shoot off an email real quick and a tweet, and then we will get going. I just want to make sure that I didn't show that here on the screen while we're doing this. And yes, I know I should have sent these before, but I didn't. So I'm sending them now. Okay, cool. So that is sent. Yes. Today. Cool. So that thing is sent. I just need to make sure we get the tweet out there. Let's tweet it to everybody. If you guys haven't already subscribed, then hit the subscribe, hit the notification, the bell icon, so you know what's going on here. And we will see if anybody joins us. Excited to get this started, excited to be back, and excited to have some fun. And there we go. It's a little better, right? It's a new setup. I think I've mentioned that already, and this is probably about the third time I've said it. But we are excited to get going. We're excited to get everything underway. There should be a chat window that should be popping up. Oh, there's the chat. Cool. Let me make sure that works. And so we are live, going to talk about Power Apps. Woohoo! Cool. So that should go out. Oh, it's like riding a bike, man. Everything is back where it's supposed to be, and we are just having a blast with it. So as you can tell, that's where the mic is supposed to be as far as getting it. And so cool. So what I wanted to do this evening, because it is evening here in Seattle, and you'll notice that I'm looking over here. So one of the new things that I got as part of this setup is I got a new monitor that's a little wider than the one I had before. Before I had two monitors, and so focused on one and then had the streaming stuff on the other. And so what I ended up doing was getting one larger monitor that allowed me to edit multiple a longer timeline and stuff like that. And so with that, and I need to turn this off. Sorry, I got distracted, and this is why I need to be doing one thing at once. So anyways, what we were doing, I got a larger monitor. It's a lot better for editing videos and stuff like that. What happened though is it kind of rearranged sort of the way the desk is set up, the way the cables come through. So I'm still fighting with a cable right now, as you can tell, for the microphone and where the microphone's going to actually sit. And you can hear a big difference At least I can in the headphones right now when it's like this. So we'll figure out what it looks like, what it looks like to get this set up and ready to go. And so I appreciate your patience. Excited for everybody to be back, and excited to get started. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to bounce in and work on a project that kind of, it's off the radar. It was something somebody asked me at work. We have dynamics at work, and it was one of those things where like, hey, if you could do this, how would you do it? And here are the limitations. And so that's what I'm going to be working on tonight is somebody challenged me saying, hey, if I give you these limitations, what could you do? And so that's what we'll be working off of. What they wanted to do is without connecting to Exchange, the use scenario is you have a CRM system and you're just a user. You're just an end user. And from being an end user, what you need to do is be able to send emails is one. So I need to send an email. I need to, 1, create a task, 2, send an email, and then 3, when that task is created, and then 3, notify that person that they've received the task, right? And so it doesn't have to be an email, but they have to have some way of being realizing that they've received something. So with that's the challenge that was put out. And so it was kind of anything in the toolbox from Dynamics, but you can't use CRM. And if you do, you can't connect it to Exchange. That was kind of the trick there, right? And so you hear the little dog behind. That's a new little puppy that our neighbors got. So we'll see how exciting this gets. So that's the challenge. And so that's what we'll be working on today. And so the way I've thought about that is, how do we do this? So one, we need to have a database of how we're going to record the information and where it's going to be, right? So we need to record the tasks. And as far as what task information, it's very light information as far as I understand. And so what we're going to look to do is actually record the task as just what is the task name? What's the body of it? And then who's the owner of it, and really keeping things simple. There is going to be some additional things that I can add in there. We'll look at it maybe later if embedding the URL of a specific record in Dynamics. And so if I had that, could I create it and then bring it over type of thing? And so we'll look at that. Maybe that's an option. But first things first. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we need to have an Excel file, and we'll do this fairly quickly. And again, using Excel because it's the easiest one without setting up a CDS or a longer one. And so we're going to have the task. This is going to be the task table. We're going to have the name of the, we're going to have let's put it a title, right? So we're going to have the title of the task and the description of the task, the status of the task, and what else should we have there? Anything else? The due date. And what other things? So let's make this one a little wider. Due date. We need the assigned to. Let's just make it the owner. Created by some of the classic ones. I don't think we care when it was created by. Some of the other things we're going to do with the owner later on is go ahead and pre-populate it based on a lookup. But I think this will give us a good start. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to insert a table. My table has headers. Cool. And let's go ahead and make up some tasks. So send initial email. Description. Please work with Seth and send email to the client. Status is new. Due date is, let's put it out in the future. Just give myself a little time. The owner is going to be, let's do Jamie as the owner. And it was created by Seth. Sure. So fairly simple. Nothing too crazy on this one. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and save that. It's already saved, but let's go ahead and save it so I can find it later. Save as. Let's put it in OneDrive. So we're in OneDrive right now. What we're going to do, save it there. I wanted to rename it. So right now it's book 1. Let's rename this as proof of concept. The classic proof of concept. Okay, cool. So that's saved. Easy enough. Let's go over here. Let's create a power. How interesting. Power Apps wasn't one of the ones that was just hanging out, waiting for us. So we'll go ahead and pop that over. And from there, we will look at where is it at? Sorry, got distracted. I would say other screen, but it's all one large screen. What we're going to be looking at is we're going to start from data. Yeah, we'll do that. It's going to give us a little bit of help here. There's going to be a number of different things that we're going to end up wanting to do, such as filtering. And this is the first time I've used this environment. The other thing that I'm doing right now is trying a new thing with the streaming. Is OneDrive for business. I don't want phone layout. Do I want phone? No. Phone's no fun. Let's use tablet. Why can't I do... Anyways. And you can't search from here either? Okay, Microsoft. Now you're just being mean. That's not who I want to sign in as. Does this... So I'm curious, because what I did with where I was going with that Streamlabs stuff is, so Streamlabs is the application. One of the things I wanted to do is just show the application as opposed to showing the whole desktop. I'm trying to cut back on some of the notifications that may pop up here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and choose proof of concept, use that Excel file. So what I'll be curious on is if there are pop-ups from the system, if those will be shown through or not. So we'll find out. Table 1. Actually, I don't want to call it table 1. Let's change this. So in Excel, it's data, right? Do I really have to open it in Excel to really change that? Tables. Okay, come on, guys. Really? Give me that one. Okay, we'll open Excel. This is where this is going to be new and different. So what I'm going to do real quick is while I log in here, you guys won't be able to see it because it's in Excel. And so what I'm going to do should I create one for Excel? Yes, the answer is yes. So hang with me just a minute while I bounce over to Streamlabs and go ahead and pop that open. Looks like we had somebody just jump in here and check us out. So right now we are going through and setting up Streamlabs, which is super duper exciting, by the way. And what we're doing with the content, not that you can see it, is what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new display capture real quick. Oh, not the whole display. What we're going to do is do a... Where's the media? Media source. There we go. Nope. Window capture. Sorry. I'll eventually get there. But if this is your first time checking us out, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. I know you guys just started. And if you just dropped in here, you have no idea what's going on. So what we're doing tonight is we are going through and working on a challenge that was submitted to us. And seeing if we can't go ahead and accomplish it. It's essentially creating a task. Yeah, I know I'm cut off right there. So we need to do is create a task notification tool without using dynamics. And if I use dynamics like CRM, then I can't use Exchange. And so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is try to get around that by going through using a Power Apps in Excel. So let's see here. So we should hopefully maybe kind of almost be seeing Excel, which is like all over the face. Let's put it back here. And again, the other thing that I mentioned early on in the stream is this is the first time I've recorded with the setup, so it's having a blast. So as you can see, Excel almost comes through here, which is weird, but it doesn't actually. So proof of concept. Anyways, we'll worry about the Streamlabs later. I'll do it off the clock. Anyways, what I was trying to do is rename the range. That was the wrong button. Not that you guys can see it. The other issue that I'm working on, and why we're doing it this way and trying to do the different images, is because again, the screen resolution is wider, and so it's much wider. So you end up missing some of the pixels and stuff like that. So connections, changing the connections. There's not an actual connection. We may just. Okay. You know what? I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. Guess somebody time me. And what we're going to do is we are going to, where is it? Queries, data, formulas, review. Is it review? Where you can change formulas. That's what it is. Define names. You can define the workbook names. There it is. Tasks. Okay, cool. So what I did, and what you'll see here in a minute, is when I save this, you should see this Excel file again. And again, Excel Online is seeing that. So what I'm going to do is choose proof of concept. It should load in. Refresh that connection. Show me tasks. Yeah, so I renamed the table. So I went to Excel, renamed the table that it was looking at. So that way, again, it just can be consistent. And for those of you guys that are joining us, what we did is the proof of concept tab is we went ahead and created a simple table, title, description, status, due date, owner, and created by. And what we're going to do is populate this using a Power App. So this one's, I'm not super excited about this one. I think we can rebuild this whole thing super quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not super excited by that. Plus it's only, I like tablet mode, because even on the phone, you can still use it in tablet. You can just turn your phone sideways and it works really well. So, so let's do this. What we're going to do is create a canvas app from blank tablet. We're going to call this, the Bacon Bites tasks. Ooh, yeah. Is there a template? That's the other thing I should look for before we get too far down this. Let's look at all the templates real quick. Help desk onboarding tasks. I'd be curious. Let's pop that one open real quick. You got your to-do list. You got your resources. That may be a little overkill. Connects to Outlook, and we don't have the ability to connect to Outlook. But that again is one of the limitations in this scenario, is we can't connect to Exchange Online. We can connect to Office in OneDrive and SharePoint, but we can't connect to Exchange or to Dynamics directly. We also can't create our own CDS. So, a couple of things there. Out of office expenses, case management, to-do list. Ooh. What are you connected to? I can switch that out. To-do list template. Okay, let's start with that one. I'm curious if we can actually switch that out, but that's a to-do list. Quick task. What are we doing here? Create a task. Triage your Outlook emails quickly into Planner. Yeah, again, it's coming in from Exchange. So we can't do that. That's outside of the bounds of the stuff. Ooh, Salesforce. I like that. I like the fact that they have some Salesforce templates in there for you. Okay, so this one, don't allow. We're going to skip that. We're going to see, it's going to try to be built out. This one's going to be create a form, create a gallery. So we're going to start with the gallery. It's going to bring us in here. I'm going to, doesn't even know my data source. Okay, let's look at this other one real quick. Just see what it is. Okay. I'm curious. Can I test this one out with fake data in it? The other thing is this is phone, so we'll see. No, I don't think I can test that out. Okay. So let's see what we can borrow from this one. So we can create a list, edit tasks, delete a list, delete a task. Those are good. Add a new note, details. So again, this note is going to relate back to a task. And so that's going to be your referential database like we're used to. Comments, task screens. You can see your completed list and stuff like that. So, okay, lots to do here. So let's go ahead and start with the first thing. We're just going to... Did that already have my... I don't want to import it from... Proof of concept, my tasks. Cool, that's going to bring that over. We're going to get rid of that. Leave it, doesn't matter. Cool, tasks. So what fields do we want? We don't need an image. So what we're actually going to do is drop this display mode. No, don't do that. We're just going to do a title. Do we want a subtitle? Body. Let's keep it simple. Let's just do a title for now. And what we're going to do is this item, we're going to do title. So that should have come back with something. Yeah, I can hit. You can also test your app right on the canvas by holding down the Alt key to activate buttons, other controls. Okay, cool. Good to know. Anyways, what's going on here? Where's my data? Let's add a few more rows. Oh, I remember. You have to like close the file. You can't have the file open or else it like does not like you with Excel. So let's save this really quick. We may have to... We will see. App settings, new. Yeah, we can go in here and do some updates to the icons later. I think I have to get out and come back in. Yes, I'm sure. I just made the updates. Check out the app. Check here. Oh, it's going to run the app. Well, good test. Yeah, see, it's locked and not responsive. Again, that's because I opened the Excel file, or the Excel file thinks it's open somewhere. Well, don't. The Excel file is closed now, so you should have. Yeah, it's locked by something. Okay. Already starting to strike out. Let's go to the Excel file. Can I really can't delete here? That's silly. Cool. Yep, I know that. So about a minute ago. Okay. So don't do anything. I want my app to use it. Okay, let's do this. We aren't too far along. We'll do this fairly quickly. I know there's a different way to do this. I'm sure there's a different way to do this. Let's put it that way. I don't know what that other way to do it is. So let's go ahead and create the app. It's a Canvas app. It's new, not from template. It's going to be from blank for the tablet layout. If you are skipping ahead to now where we actually are making progress, thank you for joining us here. Because I'm definitely going to need to put in a break there. What time is it? 25-ish. So the content's going to start like 25. Cool. Did that add? Where'd it go? Sorry, I looked away. It's loading from here. Do. So anyways, another news. Oh, there it goes. I don't have any other news. Tasks. Yes. Connect. Yes. Okay, now we have it twice. That's what I thought. Remove it. Oh, last time it asked me if I wanted to insert a gallery, and I said yes, and that's why this time it wasn't prompting me for one. So what we're going to do is delete this, come in here, rename this to the list of tasks. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to do the title. We are then going to do the tasks that we saw. Currently it's pulling in the field of created by. We actually want the title. Let's go ahead and close that. Send initial email. Actually, I think the other field I actually want as a subtitle. Right now it's the body. That's kind of good. I kind of like the body there. Actually, if we put the body in there as well. So let's get a couple more things. So let's actually put the owner. So the title should be the title. Send the email. Here we can put the body, and then lastly, the owner. You know what? This has confused the heck out of me. Why is this going in this order? Because that's not helpful at all. Let's actually put title, task, title. Make it easy for us. Task description. And somehow it's body one, but it actually should be owner. So there we go. Cool. So we got those pretty simple. Because it's the body, it looks like it wants to expand that out. Cool. So easy enough. Hey, looks like we just had somebody join us. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you jumping on here. What we're doing is creating a simple task kind of thing using Excel as the back end. Right now we're starting with the gallery. Go ahead and put that in there. Let's go ahead and use the fill. What is our standard color? Do we have a standard? That's not an exciting color. Let me go see what we have for the bacon bites. What is the default color for the bacon bites? I'm going to give away all my secrets here. Can I pick it? I have the RGB or I have the hexadecimal. So let's go custom. Oh, look at this. I gave you both. What a champ. Huh. It's a nice pink. Should be red. Maybe it's my screen. Huh. Interesting. not as red as I thought it was. But anyways, list list of tasks. Cool. So let's go ahead and save that. We're gonna call it Bacon Bites tasks. Again, this isn't gonna be too crazy. It looks like another viewer. Appreciate you dropping on by here tonight and hanging out with us. We're just hanging out and creating some stuff and power apps. So hopefully that's good. A little music on there. Cool. So now that we have the first sort of gallery here, we have the title. That's fine. Redirect ribbon. That's just the ribbon behind. That's fine too. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new screen. Let's go ahead and we're not going to do an email necessarily. We'll maybe do that later. Actually just do a blank, I think. And so what we're going to do is create a new task. So this is going to be a new task. Create. What we're going to do is add an item from the insert tab. Cool. Easy enough. Forms. We are going to do an edit form, if I remember correctly. And so what we're going to do. So for continuity, what I actually want to do is a couple of things. One, I want to bring these titles. I want to make this into a group. And what that group is going to allow me to do is have consistency. It's not like going to be a copy paste. 1 a.m. Power App Streaming. What up? Hey, CRM MVP Media. It's been a while, man. That's what happens when you're on coast to coast right here. So we're going to have the title of app header. Let's do that. I think I have to keep it underscored. No, you don't have to. Well, keep it underscored, make it easier for all our developer friends. 1 a.m. over there. Oof. Dedication right there. Or what is it? Insomnia is the other one. So, yeah, I won't be able to make it out to... Oop, where'd that come from? I won't be able to make it out to the Business Application Summit. And Mandar, the co-presenter, the co-founder of the Power Apps out here in Seattle. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. You guys are going to be so bored, but so excited when you see this is finished. This is really weird. Huh, that was weird. Is it really just... We got 2 title bars here. Oh, look at that. That's what this. Oh, that's what was going on. Okay. Anyways, so anyways, I won't be able to join you gentlemen in Atlanta next weekend. Very disappointed in that. Have a internal conference that I have to go to in Orlando. And it was crazy. It was the exact same days. So it was, we have to be there Sunday evening. And we're there until Tuesday afternoon, which exactly lines up. And it was such a bummer because I had got the business application registration, was ready to go, right to hang out with all the people and learn from Microsoft. They got a lot going on, and it's just going to just blow my mind. I don't know what they're going to talk about because I didn't want to look at the courses because I'd be sad. But I know that there's going to be a lot there. And so I'm going to look to you to share out with the rest of the people. And it'll be like, what is it? It's not MVP Summit. What's the one? There's one, it's like the user group ones where like Microsoft presents and everybody just like tweets the whole time. It's so cool. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and create this task stuff. And again, I already put all this stuff on here, so I know what's coming. Let's go ahead and collapse all these just to make it easy. So title, created by, we're going to make the owner, because again, this is that concept. People are going to be creating it for us. Description, status. So with title, we can edit the text. Do we want multi-line? No, it's not multi-line. Let's go across. Oh, what we want to do is change the number of columns. Does that work? That's close, right? Other options do horizontal, which not a favorite. Cool, we'll just leave that for now. Owner. Eventually this should be like an allows value. We'll leave that for now. Status, this will be an option set. We're going to populate due date. I just want date. Mandar is going to be like, dude, I know exactly what to do. This is like, Mandar, you're amazing. I have no idea. This is me learning. You guys already know. Oh, that's where I was going to go. The description should be, don't worry, all the content will be available online. Yeah, that's what I figured. Still figuring out which sessions to attend. Every session has at least 5 options, hoping all content is available online. Yeah. Agreed. So that's what when they told me the internal meeting was there, I was like, okay, I guess I can do that. But it was kind of a bummer missing out with everybody. So, okay, cool. So we got the description, due date. This kind of, I wish it was like Dynamics here where you could just drag and drop this, because this is where it gets a little funky. Oh, select all. Did that actually work? And no, it did not. Display mode, edit rules. Unlock all these. Oh, you really have to do these individually. It's such a pain. The other thing that I've found is when you unlock these, what it ends up doing, if I remember correctly, it actually creates cards. And so if I go back to that form and then look at the edit fields, these all become custom now. And so I can't just go in there and like change it. These all just became custom cards. And what I would love to do is have like a default custom. So that way I can go ahead and just, like pop it back in there. And of course you can undo, but you can't redo. Okay, so all of these are still not custom because I was going through and clicking them. Edit, description, multi-line. So Mandar, I appreciate you reaching out, man, and appreciate your patience with just me this past month or so. Work's been a little bit crazy. Project's going well. It was just a matter of getting all the ducks in a row and stuff like that. And so we will, it'll still be coming and stuff, but it was one of those things you just kind of got to go heads down and radio silence, which are kind of two different things at the same time. Mixed metaphors, if you will. I really don't like this red. I know it's the brand, but it's just not coming across very well. And that's kind of everybody's red. Let's do a light blue. I know this is small, but it's one of those things. Just making sure that you have a theme, you're consistent with it. Let's just keep it with this main blue up here, this baby blue. It's not even a baby blue. But so the project's going well. It's something that excited to keep on there. It's going to be for a while still, but it will be something that will be very beneficial. Okay, so here I want to do default, not the parent. Since this is a new, we're going to do equals, do you have to use the Office? I think you have to log into Office. And I don't have that connection set up yet. Data sources, there it is. Add the Office. I have to do new connection. Now I type office. Users, bring the office users in. And again, this is still within the boundaries of the challenge that was issued to me. Again, I have to create a task generated thing without using dynamics. Or if I do use dynamics, I can't use email notifications, and I can't use flow to connect. I can't use exchange connectors. I can't use anything to connect to dynamics, which kind of limits all notifications. And so when I pitched the idea of, well, you could use a dashboard, they're like, yeah, that's kind of simplistic. And that requires somebody to log in. So what is a way to push it out there? And so the way eventually we'll push this out is actually using flow to push it out. But before that, you have to capture the data. And so kind of putting a couple of different pieces together. So created by default equals, or what is it? Let's just look it up. Nope, don't need to be a hero. Power apps. Oh, it's set. I knew I was missing something. So the individual user that's logged in there. Why don't you like that? Office users. My profile. You really don't put a equals in front of it. Mandar, I know as soon as the video catches up, you're going to send it out and be like, dude, this is exactly what you should do. Yeah. What is it? Go to solution. Oh, so I was using the guys. Oh, this is SharePoint stuff. Well, this was last year. It should have worked. Unlock it if text equals 1. Display username. User. Oh, is it the user that I'm wanting? Office users, because you're calling you're calling the data set first. User profile. That's what we were trying before. And then first. Display name. That should work, right? What don't you like about that? What are you warning about, formula? Unexpected characters, data value card, default. It doesn't know what? It is the default one, right? It should be defaulting it. On change, on select. That's not default. Because you can default text in there. Test. Hint, false reset, max length, doesn't matter. Delay output, accessible. It is a text field, right? Border color, yada yada yada. You're controlling the theme in there. You're doing what you fill with. You get your width, your height, your true visible. That's not what I'm looking for. It's the default. Yeah, it's this stuff. These are all the fields that are currently in the data set. So we're going to go outside the data set to get manager, retrieve the... I don't want to retrieve the... I don't want my direct reports. Select text. Returns the first count. No, returns the first. No. I appreciate you helping me with this stuff, guys, but this is not. No, it's not what I wanted. I don't have to go so extreme. It's really simpler than this. I've done it before. Just not in this data set. Okay, let's try this. Hold on a second. I'm going to get my other computer. Get the trusty work laptop out. Where we have done this before. How to default people in the pick list, auto populate person type column. Am I trying to make this too simple and everybody's overcomplicated this? Everybody already has it where you can actually pull it from like dynamics. I just want to pull the person in from the system. And I know I'm going to do some stuff on this other laptop over here, so it's really just going to pull in the information and I'll display it up here. But we'll keep moving on. Let's put in the big parts of this and then we'll come back and do the refinement of it. Actually, change me to the formula. Cool. That's going to be a default. It's going to be left open. Title. Cool. So we can just stretch that across. We're going to expand this out. Cool, cool. No, that's dumb. The owner, the status. Let's go back to the form. So again, I'm clicking around fairly quickly for those trying to play along at home. What I'm doing is I'm clicking through, and right here, if you click on the outside here, it actually clicks the form. And now on the form itself, what I want it to do is actually change the order. I'm going to move that up higher. So description is actually going to be the second thing here. And I'm going to make this larger so it actually goes across 2 columns and it's going to spread all the way across. And then essentially what that's going to do is capture the important information up top here. And then on the second part, what we'll do is we'll actually go down. And put the description in here. That's fine. It's okay. I'm not crazy about the due date, but we'll have to live with it for now. Let's go ahead and save it. While that's saving, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the other screen over here. Log into the other environment that's I've done this in. That's the one. We're gonna go ahead and edit that. Mindar, did I ever send you the Power Apps user group check-in stuff? I should have sent that to you. I was talking to Gretchen from Dynamics Communities today, and they were curious about it. Yeah, about sharing that out. So I probably should share it with more people. So I should not do that right now while I'm thinking about it. I should do it later and make it an action item. The skills matrix, that's the one. Cool. Because somebody asked me, maybe it was you, Mindar, at the last CRM user group. You asked if you could do a sign in and have people actually sign in stuff. And I hadn't quite got that far. So, okay. So we have the default here. So what I have in the other one is user and that was it. So user, and then do this, and then do full name. And so now it's going to be based off the user that's logged in. And so because I'm the mod administrator, it comes in. So anyways, it'd be interesting to see. I don't know if Mandar, you or Gus know where like a list of, but like those are like, that's a super powerful one, right? Everything that you can pull off the user themselves, the image, the full name, their email address. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. So that's going to be the person creating it. Title, description, stuff. The other thing I'm going to do is insert some icons. And again, it would be nice if this could be like somehow automated. That one should be like, if you could have like a bag of like, oh, these are the ones I always use. Because you always use, anytime I've created these, it's the same ones, right? So you're always creating a plus sign. This plus sign is going to have a, okay, come on select. Where is the select? It's interesting you can't just start typing like a on select. Navigate, new task, bada bing, bada boom. So if I do that, click that, cool. What we're going to do here is on the new one, if we wanted to go back. There it is. So what's crazy is they don't have like a an option there. And so like a search. Everywhere else in the system they got these search fields and stuff like that. It'd be nice to have like a search there. Let's make it a little smaller. And maybe take it off a little. Cool. So we got a list of tasks. Let's go ahead and make this text a little bigger. And this one's actually going to be new task. The other thing, so that's going to do a back. And so what we actually need to do is on the select here, select. Come on, guys. On select. We want it to do navigate. And let's do a cover. So what that's going to do is when we come here and click here, and we can click there. Oh, and transitions. They're so much fun. Can I do, yeah, transition, cover. Curious, can you do a transition the other? So that's cover. Could you do a cover left? No, interesting. It's only a cover right. It's a random. Uncover, uncover right. Is it an uncover? What happens if you do an uncover? Pretty sure it's the same thing. Anyways. Oh, interesting. So you have a cover, which goes left to right, and then an uncover, a cover right versus a cover. So a cover is left to right to left. A cover right is left to right. I think I said that right. Anyways, you've seen it in action, so I'm not going to worry about it too much more. Okay, so we got the new task. The other thing we need to do is we need to make sure that when we go through, we save it. So we're going to do the check mark. Put that up in the corner. Get it off a little bit. And again, there's people out there like Mr. Dang that just he just like knows this stuff, man. He's got it on lock, which is awesome to watch him work on this stuff. Description, what's going to be the inside? So that's 13, outside it's 12. So what happens? So on the select here, we need to finish out that thought before we move on. On the select is submit form 1. Actually, I want to, let's rename this form to task. To new task. One of the things okay, really guys, you don't do it like that, guys. Come on. Anyways, apparently we're not going to rename the form. Did I miss something there? It says it's still got fields there. Cool. This is why you save. Don't save that. What the heck? That was weird. I was going to say when you change the name of the form. That's dumb. And at that point, it like locks it in. So if I can't undo the renaming of the form. Interesting. Good to know. Don't do that. And people out there probably already knew that. Maybe you already knew that. If you didn't, now you do. That was really weird to see that come in like that. Okay. So we're not going to rename that. And we're just going to leave that check mark by itself on select. Actually, this display mode should be, it's good. Snap view, vertical, default. We're going to do a new, right? So the default mode here is it's going to be a new. What we're going to do here is on select, we're going to submit form 1 and navigate to list of here. And we're going to do a transition cover right. So, in theory, try to do it back. And you can't do it back from nothing. So, click here. Send Mandar. Why is this not added to my dictionary? Send Mandar. User group. Power app for registration. The owner is Seth, and I can change this, and so Seth Bacon created it. Cool. Status. We'll get to the status. Go ahead and choose the check mark. Saves it. Closes it. This should have gotten refreshed, but it didn't. So let's save that because we know we're good there. Let's take a look. I don't want to open the file. Can I copy this? Open file location. So it did just update it a second ago. So that just means that this Power App hasn't been updated yet, which is fine. And it hasn't needed to reload. So what I should do is on... Should be an option on visible, on hide. Oh, on the app. Run on start. Refresh. Tasks. So that should... There we go. So that goes ahead and brings that in. Okay, cool. So we got that in. We got that coming in. The other thing we're going to go ahead and do is now that we have a list of tasks and stuff like that, we're going to create a new task. And again, these are, I have a feeling we don't want to do like an on success, right? Maybe. Should we send them there? As opposed to going back? Put it down in the comments if you want, what your thoughts are on that. Should we send them back? Or should we send them out to... Huh. Interesting that it turns into a box just by changing the fill. Anyways, let us know. Oh, it's the fill of the check mark, not the circle. That's why. Let us know if you think we should go to the success and then maybe put some buttons on here where we can say, okay, new task or view tasks or something like that. Let us know. Let us know what you think there. Which way we should go with that. Should we do success message? Success message, or should we go a different direction? So right now we'll leave it as is. The other thing we need to do is create a blank, and this needs to be edit tasks. And here on the edit tasks, what we're going to do, we're actually going to steal like this whole thing just for consistency. Go through and click it all, and then copy pasta or copy paste. What we're going to do here is now we just need to change the default mode to edit. And then we need to go up here. Where's the icon? These guys. Separator, no, arrow, next. Cool. And then on here, we want it to do a navigate to edit tasks. Should be task singular. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Okay, we're going to create edit task, and up here, there's different, we could change the title. And so actually have this be the title. So what we can do is, what is it? Just gotta confirm exit for Canvas app. Thanks, Bandar, for posting that. So what we're looking at here is, oh, interesting. So when you try to navigate away from it, it's gonna prompt you. That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna embed that. We're there is a new way to prevent losing unsaved changes. The app object has 2 new properties. Confirm exit, where a true will show a confirmation dialog before exiting, preventing the accidental loss. Confirm exit message, a custom text message. Interesting. So you can do a confirmation. So it's 2 different ones. Is this showing the first? You have unsaved changes. But at present, these properties only reference controls on the first screen if the delayed load preview feature is enabled, which is by default on new apps. Okay, so let's, how do we, for more details, we've expanded the documentation. For example, the formula is shown. Confirm exit on the app. Okay, so if we bounce over to our app and look at, so we need to click on the app here. There it is. Size breaks on start. So confirm exit. So let's do this as true, if I can spell true. Save that. The other thing I was doing on here. First, let's do this real quick. So the text is this. Is it this item? Not this one. No, what is it? Template gallery 1. Get this later. Formula need a default title there. Okay, cool. So let's go play around with the app real quick. F5 to pop it open. Here. Oh, the other thing that happens is you need to also reset form 1. Okay, what are you doing to me? You're acting like you don't see something. You're acting like you haven't seen a refresh on that page. So let's save it. Close it real quick. And there, again, there's probably a different way to do this. Mandara, I appreciate you dropping that. I want to drop it in the... I thought I had it open still. There it is. In the description here for everybody so they can see it. Oops. Wrong button. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Wish I can bring it over here since I'm showing a different screen. Description. Can I just drop it down? Cool. Do I have to save it? It just saves. Okay, cool. Just leave it as is. Okay, so we got that one. Let's get rid of that tab. Objects. These are the on start ones. We just did that. Yes, allow it. The form needed to be reset. So, owner Seth, and it's cool. So up here it's thinking, and now when we go back here, no items to display. Why is it trying to still bring in a new item? Existing item. That's not making a lot of sense, dude. Oop. On success. Let's try that. Reset this form. It should be going already. Oh, it didn't. Why did that not get saved? We didn't put it in the wrong one, did we? Oh, we totally did. / I totally did. Anyways, okay, so that's why it totally didn't work like it thought it was going to. So, number of things there, and again, these are the small things you run across, and you're like, oh no, totally. We weren't resetting. You forget to reset a button, right? And so, because I forgot to reset it, it didn't go through and know to reset the item. And so even now it doesn't reset it. I wonder if I should, as part of this click here, as it's navigating, can I also reset that form? Because we know which form it's going to be. So when I click on that button, hey, if there was data in there, we're actually going to reset it and reformat it back out after it's been submitted. So when I click on this, it reset it there. And you saw it for a brief second, what that looks like. So in theory, what we can do, wrong button. Test, we can, because that back button doesn't have a reset, when I click here, well, now it does. If I took that off, so if I took the reset off of here and saved it, and again, this is all about user experience, right? So now when I do this and I do a test, and now when I go back and I click plus, that test is going to stay because it hasn't cleared it out. Nothing's told the system yet to clear it. It was interesting that that doesn't give me the unsaved changes error. So if I save that real quick and publish this version, and then I go in here, run that version. Wrong button. How do I navigate away? Changes are made and not saved. Cool. So it does work, at least in this environment. It spun it up probably 2 hours ago now. So that works. Email about power on. So Power On is a third party that works with Power BI. Looked at bringing them into the CRM user group here in Seattle, but not sure if we will or not. And so with the checkbox there, it works now. So I'm going to leave that as is. I think it's fine. I'm also going to need to reshape that a little bit. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Kind of went a little crazy there. Cool. cool. Okay, so we got the edit going. What was interesting is that this edit didn't bring anything in it. I think it duplicated the data set. Do we have two data sources here? Why do you have the second one? I think that happened when I brought this form over. So now it's complaining about that form. That's fine because it doesn't exist. I thought you could do that, but when... What? Everything went? Somebody once said when I first modified a minute ago, I think that was within a minute, you save, and then when you break something, you realize it and you can go fix it fairly quickly. So anyways, we'll get through this. Okay, we got a list here. Is it really using... It's not using that data set. This one's using task 1. So are we not using anything from the other one? I don't know. I don't know how where that came from. No items to display. Okay, cool. So that means it's not seeing these, and these are not defaulted. To the right amount, the right fields. Default, this item, title. On success, on reset, data source, default mode, item. Where's the best place to get that? Decoupling the browser gallery from the display edit forms. I don't want to decouple it. I want to create it. Edit submit forms. Hey, look, they're doing exactly what we're doing. Premise, you have an edit. Come in here. Data fields. Selected items. Items. Select the item property on this edit form. Passing the item from a previous screen, hence I'm using the same here. Selected items. So, where is the item? Isn't that what it said? Selected item. Did he create a formula to do that? On select. Select parent. Write the code. Navigate to this place. I feel like this is way more work than I usually do on this item. do a fade. I don't have an ID to pass it, so I'm just going to drop it. Issues? No? Okay. Next, they're asking us to then go to the target. Go to the target and select the form viewer. In this case, select the item from the top drop-down list and write the following code. First, filter. Interesting. So they're using a product table and then just passing it in the ID like a collection, I think. So they have a collection of essentially products. And so, okay, we're going to go to the product table. We're going to use this ID that we just passed through equal to the selected ID. And that's why they're going through and dropping it in that way. Select parent. Pass object to a different screen. What was this one doing? Pass value to a different screen. Pass in object to a different screen. Yeah, see how it's got jumbled up until it gets passing in the data then to actually populate it. That's a cool image, by the way. Same control, new edit modes, set field value. Gotta bring in the value. Why are these all fuzzy? You have to click on them? That's weird. I feel like I'm gonna get a virus every time I click on it. So what they're doing is changing the forms, whether it's an edit or a view. That's cool. So you're using one form-ish to do it. So this individual goes through. So what's the benefit of doing that? Set the global variable for edit mode. So on select, so you select the arrow, set variable edit, select the parent. So I think I'm missing the select parent on the other one, navigate to the place. And so that's what you're doing. And then you come in here, and if you choose, well, that's the edit one. Where's the new? If you choose the new, essentially you're passing through the same information, only you change the variable mode. And so that's why they had the variable mode somewhere. Yeah, okay. Do we want to go down that route? I kind of still wanted to get to the flow stuff today. One thing at a time. First, we got to be able to pass through this. So this on select. Yeah, let's navigate there. First, we want to select parent. Is that right? Did I do? I feel like I missed something. Set. Oh, that's the new one. For edit, select parent. Okay. Interesting. I've been using ampersands, but they have been using semicolons. So let's start using semicolons. / anybody that has direction on that, reach out to me. Let me know which one I should be using. And then on this form, do we need to do anything for this item? On visible, it's setting the visibility on that item. Just do an if statement, but I'm missing that key piece. Where have I done this before? Have I used it on my other laptop? Okay. Just checking it out on the other laptop right now. Where I may have done it. The problem is I've done some of the stuff in other demo environments. Oh, the user check-in stuff, Lindar. Not that you immediately know it, but anyways, that one totally does it. And it's going to be something super simple that I'm totally forgetting right now. But that's what happens when you code late at night. Okay, so on select, so you navigate. I didn't do anything besides that. Interesting. And on the edit, data sources table, item. Oh, there we go. That's where I'm overcomplicating some of this stuff. So here they didn't do a select because it knows it. On this, on the item, they did template list dot selected, and there it goes. It passes everything in. So I don't know enough to know why you would use one or the other, but I can tell you that it works, and that's good. So now if we go back here, run it. Saw that we can create tasks earlier. Down here, I can choose any of these. See that information, go back, choose it. You can see more of that information, edit it. The other thing we need to make sure we can do on the edit is on this one. It's going to submit this form, and then it's going to navigate to list of tasks, and then it's going to cover it. So let's edit that. So have a due date of Friday. Let's make it Wednesday for fun. And it's going to be due by 8 o'clock. Is that military? Yeah. Or 24-hour time, I guess. The other thing I want to do is maybe bring this down a little, just give a little more space. So there went in thought. And there's our due date. Other thing I would maybe want to do here is actually add the due date. So this is who owns it. And again, all these should be owned by me. We'll add in additional owners later. And so let's actually drop. Let's change that. So we're going to drop this and add it to. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We're not doing the owner. We're going to do the due date. So it's going to be the due date and time. Perfect. Beautiful. Save that. So let's go into flow. So we've been so deep into Power Apps right now. I do want to get into some flow stuff, and shout out to John Levesque and the flow team. And give them some love over there on flow. Okay, all you flowers are laughing at me right now on how to get there. So what we're going to do is go to all apps, and then from all apps, we're going to go ahead and go find some flows. And on this flow, what we're going to do is go ahead and check it out and go ahead and create a flow, get started. So what we're going to need to do is a couple of things. One, we're going to, when a new task is created, what we want it to do is actually send out a flow. And so here on this action item, we actually want it to call out a, whoa, navigate success message. Fantastic. That was crazy. Sorry. I don't think these have been here. So when you click on it, it kind of sucks, but it deletes your stuff. Anyways, the other thing we wanted to do, heck, we could do it from there. I don't know why I was going over there. So new flow, so power apps. We're gonna create a new step. So the owner is actually going to be a first name, last name, or actually it's going to be a list. Sorry, I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is. Let's do this. I'm going to create a new Excel file. Actually, I'm going to use the existing one. It's going to scream and shout, and it's going to complain all sorts of. So these are my tasks. These are going to be my owners / users. They're going to have full name. Let's go first name. Actually, no. Kind of no. So one of the things that we're restricted to is just Office 365 items. And so what we're actually going to do is back up off of all that stuff real quick. So can I change this user to be an option set? So what I want it to do is have this be an option set from Office. And I can use any of the users there. I can't use their email address, which is the trick. But can I use any of their users' names? I think I can. So let's do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go grab the owner. And then what we want it to do is default. What is the difference here? How do we get this to be status cool, options, display modes, no values, default? That's totally different than what we got over here, which is text and number. So let's do this. I haven't done all that much yet with the owner, so we're going to drop actually this owner field. Then we're going to add that field back in. And before we change that, we're actually going to change it to be allowed values. So that's going to be okay. And then once we get there, I update the size of this. Like 18 is what we're using all the way around. And does that still allow this to be an edit? Okay, cool. Cool. But now what we want it to do is, so Power Apps, what do they call these? Allowed values. So I really don't want to use a commercial, so we'll bring this one over here. Hopefully that doesn't show up. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy's like the man. He does all sorts of stuff. So he was back in 2018. Well, I guess it wasn't that long ago. Okay, what are we doing? Does he have like timestamps? Because that'd be awesome. No. He's got 29,000 views. Holy moly. Just a few more. We'll get there. He's only got a few more followers, like 37,000. So he's got a lot of great content, though, as you can tell. And the way he goes about doing it, it's an individual that knows his stuff. Drop down height. Oh, Power Apps videos. What's he doing? Make this full screen. Oh, I feel bad. I'm covering. I'm going to turn off my webcam stuff so you can see him. Items. So he's pulling the items list. Card value. Okay, so let's start a little bit back before. Kind of rushed into that. Okay, he's resizing everything. So he's got. Creates a new Power App video. There's his list. So he's pulling it from. Okay. So he's pulling it from a list in SharePoint, which is fine. Goes through, there's his list of employees. What he did there is he added departments.title as items. And so that must be it's a data set. And then the column that he wants to bring in as his list of items there. So it looks like we need to do is populate items. Get rid of Tableau. So we populate items there. And then after we populate the items, what we need to do is then go through. So there's his department master list, right? So he's using that list. Here's his title. There's his managers as options. You can default that kind of stuff. So if we bounce over here, choose items, it's going to say allowed values. We do want that. But because this item is locked down, that's where we need to go ahead and unlock it in advanced. And here, it's not going to depend on anything. We're not going to match it. So we actually want this to be Office 365 users, relevant people, search user. What we should do is bounce out and look at a template. So let's go look at a template. Help topics. Guided learning, no. Let's see. Creating a Power App and stuff like that. Cool. Apps. Create an app. Where's the Office ones? Training for Office. I've started that a couple of times now. Inspect, innovation, assets, fundraiser, leave request. This should be good. My leave requests. It's always going to be the same person. That doesn't help. Service desk. I don't think we're assigning people with that. Out of office. That's my out of office. My expenses. Case management. Salesforce. Contacts? No. Where are we going to put these things? Okay, come on. Let's try it for Office. We'll see if we can skip ahead or if it's going to force us to. Go through it individually. Cool, you can have access to everything. People picker screen. Yes, perfect. Okay, that's exactly the one we want. Okay, so select the right people. So the people picker enables you to search all the steps outlined below to build the people picker component. So we're going to add a data connector and select Office 3. Click connect. If you prompt it again, sign in. So we should already have that. Data connection. Place text input on an empty form and name it as input text. Search person. Set the reset property of the text input control to clear text. Hold Alt so that we can do it. Find people, place a gallery control on the form. And name it as gallery select person. Interesting. So can I do that here? So that's what it's going to look like. Can I just steal this? Not steal it. Can I just take it? Can I take it from this one? Bounce over here. Bring that up. Drop it down. Save the power up so we don't mess it up too badly. Okay, it's having issues connecting. Text display name. It'd be nice to like close that, so. Or like reposition the app or something so that way you can. Selected name person display. Does it work at all? Not that tricky yet. Name isn't valid. The identifier isn't recognized. The input error most commonly formally refers to something that does no longer exist. For example, control identify. Selected person. Okay. Do this the old school way. Place the gallery on name of selected person. Set the items property to the gallery to, if it's blank, oops. Okay, so what we're going to do is insert input text search. Oh, Microsoft. Why do you do this? Rename yours something else so that way I can use the actual instructions that you have. How does it already have a 1 somewhere? Bacon search person. Set the reset property of the text input to clear text box. Reset to wrong button. And I should throw back my video. Clear text box. So it does work? No, it doesn't like it. Set the reset property of the text input control to clear text box. I feel like you guys didn't do that. What did you guys do here? You guys didn't do anything. Okay, whatever. Set the hint property to search context and directory and delete the value of default property. I'm game with that one. I'll do that last one. Default is pop. And your hint is going to be search for people. Search for task owner. And so far everything we've done here, I think we could easily translate over to the other one. Set the items property of the gallery. This is the good stuff. Items. Oh, come on. Wait a second. Where did we get a gallery at? Place an input there. Properties. Place a gallery control in the form and name it as gallery select a person. Ah, that's where we missed it. Insert gallery. Did it say what type of gallery? Just gallery control. Oof. And essentially what we're going to do is, I think it's just going to overlay it right here. Gonna get rid of some of these fields. Let's just do one field. Sample text. So what we're doing is we're adding a gallery, and then from that gallery, what we end up doing is what it's going to do is the items for that gallery are going to be coming from the text field. So if that's where you see the if. See if we can copy this real quick. I know it's going to be a pain. Can I do this? And then just going to drop it in Notepad. So what I did is I just took all that code that they had in there and just dropped it into Notepad to make it easier to copy and paste. So now when we click on that gallery, this item, it's looking at the wrong search box because they don't like us. Bacon search person. So we're doing that, and then after that, set the onSelect property of the gallery to set the yeah, we're getting close to the good stuff. So after that, what we want to do is on the select, here, we're going to go ahead and set this to, so here we're going to set the selected person, this item, and then we're going to clear the text box and clear the search out. I don't know why it has you do it twice, which is interesting. From there, step 8, add a label control to the gallery and set the text property to label control. Interesting. Not exactly sure how to set a label control. Design rules, properties. Add a label control to the gallery and set the properties. Let's try this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very much more a visual person. Then, so shout out to Todd for the work that he's done here, and Microsoft's using it in their tutorials. So this is the out of office one. I wonder if he created that one, which would be really cool. So what we're doing is we're going in here. He's walking through a process. So what they're doing there is essentially a web form, or I say web form. It's a form I'm so used to. So the contact went ahead and populated. So he's just showing what's happening right there. And I bet you that's the individual. But here he's going to show, it looks like, if you want to go ahead and search yourself, what that looks like. So if you wanted to change the search option there, we'd be able to do that. So Alex. And so, again, that's a gallery that's popping up right there. And so essentially it's hiding and showing the gallery as a part of it. What I'm curious is, how did you build that? Okay, so now he's talking about that. And let's go ahead and listen into that audio so that way everybody can hear it. Let me unmute this.
You'll notice in my items property here, the first how it works. What we have here is a people picker from Azure contact info screen. You can look at.
So I do have this on double time, and so it is going to run through this fairly quickly. So just be aware of that.
This as well if you download the app and place it into your environment. And this is really how it works. What we have here is a gallery control. You can see I've highlighted it right here. And this is actually what implements that people picker that we saw drop down right there. You'll notice in my items property here, the first thing I do is I see is text input 2_1 What's its text value? If it's not blank, then I'm going to proceed. So that's this text box right here. Notice it has a value of contact user assigned to it. Once we pick a user, we're going to set them equal to this variable, and that's going to show their name there. So after we see if that's not blank, then what we're going to do is we're going to say, is contact user equal to what was in there? If they are equal, then there's no sense in going to do a search for that user. We know someone's already typed their name and picked it. However, if you type in something different than what's already set as the contact user variable, then we're going to go off the Office 365 users connector and call the search user method. Then we're going to pass in the search term, which is the actual text we saw before in text input 2 underscore.
Okay, so what are we doing over here? So over here, we have the gallery. Here we see we're setting some values. Items. We set the items already, and that was what he was going through there. So if it's blank, if that text is blank, if it's not blank, what do you do if you're going to search it? What are we doing? Trimming the text and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and test this real quick. I'm just curious. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work because it's not all the way baked yet. Okay, let's keep going.
That's all there is to it. The next thing that you'll notice about this is that because this is a gallery, and this is my items collection, it means that every time I type in something new there, that call to Office 365 user search user is going to execute, and that's why you're going to see that items collection update as the gallery update. So if I back it up even here in design mode, I can type in T, and now it's pulling up all kinds of different people who start with T. Add the O to it, now we're down to just Todd's. Add Todd DAG, now we're down to just my accounts in the Azure Active Directory. So again, here you can see if I pull it down and get at the top, really the piece that is executing that search is the Office 365 users.search user or whatever I type in there. Now if we take a closer look at the gallery, we can see that it has a custom data source defined, and that is because we programmatically created the items collection. We picked the title layout, so I'm explain what and then within that, Office 365 users, when we make that search user call, gives us all these different things that we can pull from about that user. In this case, we chose a display name, and that's why that appears there. If I chose
So the other thing I think we missed, or I missed, is on this. I don't think it has. So it's custom. City. We want the display name. Yeah, so if we give it the display name, and now try. Nope. Still no. Let's check out this gallery. So it's the group. Hover, icon, search. Where is the gallery on that one? So here's the selected person, job title. What is it doing here? Is blank, office user, all that kind of good stuff. Fields, display name, and job title. Your items is blank, searching that. Next steps, what are you doing? On select. So if we go do that to our I know what it's trying to do, which is frustrating because I know it's so close to be in there. So, anyways, it has been a 2-hour stream, and so probably should wrap this up. Appreciate people jumping on here. Gus Gonzalez earlier, Mandar for sticking around, being a trooper here at 11:30 on the West Coast. I think I'm gonna have to leave this where it's at for now. I need to take a break. It's one of those things where like we were getting to the point where it's like I know it's close there, but I know I'm missing something. So what we're doing here again is the gallery. We bring it in on the select. bring that information in. I'm not liking the details that they're giving us on the app here. It's just not. I feel like there's an easier way to do this. This guy.
There's something else like job title, then I can go search on users and put all their job titles in here or something like that. That's what I chose to do. So that's a real quick way that you can implement this functionality. One other thing that I'd like to show you about how we actually set the variable equal to the name of the one you select in the people picker is over here. Now this is a rectangle, and if you watch my video on the transparent rectangles, you can see how we use this. We lay the transparent rectangle over top of all the controls inside here, the separator as well as the text value that displays our names. Then, when a user clicks on this transparent rectangle, this is where we go and set the variables contact user. This item, display name, is what we set it equal to. This item is the currently selected item in the gallery, so we're going to display its display name and set that equal to the contact user variable. Then we have the contact user email. So that's again the selected item, their mail property, gets you their contact user email. So that means when I go play the app and I select a user, I just clicked on that transparent rectangle and it set those properties. So now that those properties, or I should say variables, are set, I can come back in here and take a look at all the different properties in the app, and I can see, lo and behold, there I am, the contact user. So those values are then set, and you can use them in subsequent pages as the application unfolds. So that's a real quick way to make a people picker with the Office 365 user search capability. So you now may be wondering, well, how did I get the ability to call that connector called Office 365 users right here? It's really easy to add. All you need to do is go up to View, pick Data Sources, and you'll see I already have it added here, but I can just pick Add Data Source, and it's going to be in your list. Office 365 users right there. If you don't see it in your list, go up to New Connection and look for Office 365 users, and then authenticate to it, and now that connector will be available for you to use in your Power Apps too. I hope this Power App and the video helps you out. See you next time.
It does help. Okay. Didn't get as far as I'd hoped. Made it further than a... So real quick update. It's not even an update. Real quick recap. It's a recap. It's not an update. Where are we with things? So again, the goal, the challenge that was issued out was, how do we go ahead and create something that allows a user to, without using dynamics, create tasks that allow them to then send out to the send out a notification. And so can't use dynamics, can't use CRM, which I'm accustomed to. And so that's where we created an Excel file. It's going to keep track of all the different tasks for us. We also can't use Exchange. That would be another great place because it already has tasks listed for us. So that, again, is out of the question in this scenario. So, but are able to use Power Apps to, again, just connect to an Excel file that's going to have a list of a whole bunch of tasks, which is fine. And being able to go in there, and again, this is kind of simple stuff, but create a task, edit the task, and then also edit a task that currently exists. Other things that we sort of have on the to-do list still is to come back in here, and when we're creating a task and assigning it, is use a list of variables, and specifically using an Office 365, because what we then want to do is actually pull in from the Office 365, create a flow, and have that flow go ahead and email that individual. And so what the hope was, one of the options you could, like I was going here and creating a list and using this as my data source. I'd rather use the Office 365 as the data source, and then be able to go from there. So anyways, that's what I got. It's obviously not done yet. So we'll be working on that. I appreciate you guys joining us for the live stream, this impromptu live stream this evening. I had some time this evening. Was challenged at work to see if I could do something without using the normal tools and using Power Apps. I think it's possible. It's just a matter of, I don't know, using a little more experience and get a little more comfortable with the tool and stuff like that. So I appreciate everybody joining. Again, Mandar, shout out to you as for that information, as well as to Gus Gonzalez and CRM MVP Media, and look forward to catching you guys next time. Have a great one. How do you end streams? It's been so long.